So we're just doing an inspection of this hive, and what we've discovered in this hive is a lot of queen cells. So the queen cells are these things here. Can you see the things hanging down on the bottom of the frame? There's 1, 2, 3 of them. They always hang off the bottom of the frames like that when the hive's planning to swarm. So what they're doing is, in there's a new baby queen being made, and what that means is the old queen can leave the hive, and she goes and flies off and makes a swarm. She takes half of the bees with her, and so you lose half of your bees if that happens, and of course it can annoy the neighbours as well. So we try and avoid that. So what we do is, rather than her going off in a swarm, we take her out of this hive into another box, and in that box she then carries on living, and this hive thinks that she's left. So this hive will carry on and make a new queen, and we end up with a small hive as well, so we keep both. So that's called a split. If you come over here, I'll show you where the queen is. This has already got one colony in here that we split last week, and this side of the box, because there's 2 entrances on either side, this side of the box has got the original queen out of that hive that we've just been in. If we're lucky, we can find her. There she is. With the green mark on the back of her head.
Okay. Yeah.
So we're going to carefully put her back in there so we know she's safe. And then to go with her, we give her 2 frames of brood so that she's going to be able to have more babies in there. And we also make sure there's plenty of bees in there, which is why we're just shaking the bees in there as well. And finally we'll find 1 frame of honey as well, so we'll put a frame of honey in there so that she's able to make new bees, and she's got stuff to eat for the next few weeks until there are bees out foraging and getting the nectar from.
I could assure you there's plenty of bees around here.
There you go, so that's what we're doing at the moment. So while we're here, let's have a look at some other stuff. So this is called a brood frame, so it's quite deep. The honey is stored in smaller frames, which are in this box here. So they're not as deep. They're only about that deep. So this brood frame here is where she lays her eggs, and you can see on here there's what they call brood in all stages. So these ones that are sealed like that are larvae that have been sealed into a cell, and they're pupating to make a new bee. And eventually, after about 2 weeks, the bee will nibble its way out and come out of there as a new bee. But in an earlier stage to that, if you look in this area here, you can see the white sort of curled stuff. It might be worth just seeing if we get sunshine on it. There we go. There's a little larvae grubs, and those are growing before they get sealed in. So the bees will be working on feeding that larva, and then they'll seal them in, and they pupate, and then they make a new bee. And it takes about 3 weeks from an egg all the way through to making a new bee and it emerging.
I think you can see the grubs there. That's great, thank you.
Yeah, okay. And what we're also looking for, I don't know whether we can see it very easily in here, is eggs. And the eggs are very, very hard to spot. They're just a little white line at the bottom of the cell. There may be some eggs in the bottom of there. I don't know, because it's so dark in the bottom it's hard for me to tell. But we certainly know that there's been a queen in here and she's been laying. We've found other eggs in this hive, so we know that everything's okay with it. It's just that with all the queen cells in there, it's very, very close to swarming. So on this frame here, there's a few drones, which are the boys. So these 2 here, can you see that they're bigger bees? And they're less stripy, that one and that one. He's got a big black abdomen. So those are the boys. They don't do any of the work, they don't do any of the bringing in nectar or anything like that. So unless you're a beekeeper, you would very rarely see a drone, because all they do is hang around in the hive, scrounge food, and when the time comes they go and mate with any new queens that have arrived. So that's their sole purpose in life. And the hive seem to tolerate that. The girls seem to be okay with them just hanging around in there and eating all the food that they've brought in.
2 yellow dots here are the pollen from when she's gone into the flowers, and you'll see some of them you can tell like the type of flower that she's been on through what colour the pollen is. So sometimes it's like orange, sometimes they have like a white head. This one's yellow. I don't know what the yellow one's from, just general flowers.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised, as daft as it sounds, grapeseed's out at the minute, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
So it could be